Joining us on the program are two gentlemen who know this pretty well. We've got Praveen Kumar, founder and CEO for Belfrix, joining us on the show. Belfrix is one of the fastest growing Bitcoin exchanges in the country. They actually did come into place. And they did, apart from being an exchange, they also floated their own ICO. So we'll try and understand from them what their experience was like. Also joining us on the program is the co-founder and COO, beg your pardon, of Polygon, an India-based crypto coin. There's so much buzz about this one. And Sandeep Nailwal is with us. Hi, Sandeep. Welcome to CC. Let me take the first question to Praveen, though. Praveen, you've done lots of stuff. We were talking before the program started as well, that you've sort of branched out into various places. But give us your experience of the ICO. How much money did it actually end up picking from the market?
Thanks, Anu. Thanks for having me in the show. We started off in 2015 with an exchange business from Malaysia, then India, Kenya, and Nigeria, and all these places. We spread it out. In the due process, we identified that one of the major issues for adoption of these cryptocurrencies are identity, money laundering, and anonymity, right? So we tried to tackle that particular issue. So we floated this idea of coming up with a KYC compliant blockchain. So in 2017, we launched this blockchain from Singapore, and we raised the capital only within our exchange customers. At that point in time, we raised around $2.2 million. 2017 we raised, 2018 we went live, and as of now this is the fourth year that we are currently live with the platform, and we currently onboard many both national and state level government agencies, and many other programs are being run on this.
Right. In fact, Praveen is being very humble right now. He actually works with several agencies and several governments as well, Karnataka government, Andhra Pradesh government, and he's helping them solve lots of education related issues, health as well. That's something we'll talk about later on the program as well. But let me bring in Sandeep in this conversation. Sandeep, Polygon obviously started out with a very different approach. Tell us, how's the journey been so far? And so much going around. What's your reading of how the crypto scene is going in India?
So Polygon, compared to, first of all, like I will say that Polygon cannot be categorized as a crypto. It's basically a platform where you can build your applications, and that platform, just like Ethereum, right? And then Ethereum, you use Ethereum to kind of interact with this platform or manage this platform, run this platform, right? So the utility or the token utility is not exactly like a cryptocurrency per se.
Right.
It's not a currency. It's a platform to run applications. And I mean, we, as you said, that we started with a very different approach. We did not do an ICO, even though doing an ICO was very lucrative and raising large sums of money and all that.
Why?
We did an IO. Sorry.
Tell me, why did you choose not to do an ICO, and what exactly was the plan?
Because largely, I don't fully agree with the, for example, the things that we discussed about ICO. For an average retail investor, you should stay away from ICOs as much as possible, especially when they are happening independently by the ICO team. Don't participate in an independent ICO which is happening on a website of the party. That's where most scam happen. If you are participating in an IO, that too of a standard exchange, globally top exchange, they make sure that they have done some level of due diligence on the team, on how their token is, the token utility, all that. Then you can participate in that.
All right, some very good tips there coming in from Sandeep. Thanks for that. Let me go back to Praveen and talk a little bit more about what exactly is happening with Belfrix as well. Praveen, just give us an insight into, so when you say floated your ICO, what was your white paper about? What did you tell people that you were doing? I believe by then you didn't have governments as your clients to actually put some weight behind your token.
In fact, we approached many governments and even banks at that point in time, to sell our product solutions and all, and we were literally kicked off from there. So one of the major reasons was that, they, again, the identity part, so the anonymity part. So since it is anonymous in nature, so they were not accepting us. So we decided that, we need to tackle this particular issue of, identifying the end layer. So now, as Sandeep mentioned that, when you're investing in ICOs, when an exchange comes into picture, they vet that particular ICO entity, right? So you have an added advantage of someone else doing your work, similar to how an IPO is being vetted here. Also, the exchange does that particular work. But over and above that, even the exchange also has a heightened risk of money laundering. So because people can move in money, I'm talking about in the form of crypto from overseas to India and India to overseas. So that heightened risk is there, right? So that need to be taken care of. So one of the primary focus for us is to provide a solution to the government wherein this a layer can be formed below the exchanges to identify who is investing, where the money is going, where it is coming up. So that's one of our primary motto of coming into this particular.
Right, it is, and you're doing such important work. So both of you, congratulations firstly. And I'm afraid that's all the time we have on this segment, but we'll connect again. There's so much to talk about what you two gentlemen are doing in your individual space.